restarts are double file, but race control has the ability, if they so choose, if they see yellow is likely to start stacking up, to single file them out. We saw that happen last time out at Eldora. The field looks like they're going to be setting up to go double file for this one, so race control will at least give them at least one more opportunity to make good on a double file restart here. Let's see if the lights go out on that iRacing safety truck, and if we're going to be going green next time through. We come across start finish, lights are out, we are green in a half mile.
Absolutely, man. So I'm glad that the iRacing guys let these guys try and have another, side-by-side start here. Dylan Fox is obviously your leader. He's led the first 4 laps, if you count that under yellow. But Alex Bergeron starting outside him. Kendall Tucker, Randall Carter in the second row. And in the third row, it's Tyler Schell in the 127 of Blake Majulis. I didn't really talk about him in the pre-race, but Majulis, I think that's pretty dangerous for these guys, Randy. He starts way up front in this one. Usually he has to come from the back.
Right, he's so comfortable from starting deep that maybe it's going to feel weird starting near that front of the field. Pace truck gets ready to come back down towards pit road. The 999 and Dylan Fox back in command of it. We are green now, working lap number 4, coming to lap 5 here at Volusia in towards turn 1. Bergeron going to lose the second spot momentarily to the 00. Kendall Tucker is looking at your mid-pack. Everyone's jockeying for track position 3 wide in your mid-pack. I see that 127 involved in this. The 044 Tyler Schell up top, and it's Virgil Graham running the bottom as the O of Kevin Dedman. He's trying to get up there as well.
Good battle for the second spot. Contact between Tucker and the 12 of Bergeron off turn number 2. Bergeron tags the wall off turn 2 right there. They're still side by side, but Tucker's getting aggressive here in this one on lap number 6. And Dylan Fox is loving what he's seeing behind him as they continue to go at it for second.
Dylan Fox breaks away to a 0.6 of a second lead. 3 wide still behind the 42 Virgil Graham. The 0 of Kevin Dedman and Tyler Schell up top. Trying to make it 4 wide. It's a 32, but the 044, he thinks better of it. Just keeps them to 3 wide. They stay 3 wide through 3 and 4. Nearly 3 by 3 is a 127, but Duel's going to get back in line. The 32 of the 42 make contact. The 044 tries to make it 3 wide. I don't think there was a gap there, and we're going to pile them up on the back straightaway.
Yep, caution's out. Looks like the 007's involved. Also the 88, the 33, third in the point standings. Evan C gets involved in this one. Wow, a lot of stuff going on here as far as the championship's concerned. Wow.
It seems like we saved all of our drama with points runners from the sprint cars, and we're just cashing them in on the late models. We saw pretty much no major dramas for any of your championship contenders in the sprint car championship series. No one having issues with getting buried in deep in the field or DNFs, but this championship has been anything but, with points leaders missing the feature event. Third place in the points gets caught up and tangled in a bit of a mid-pack drama, and I think it's going to be pretty likely we see these guys roll off single file this time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And, I'm going to mention it right now. Alex Bergeron, obviously, is a great driver, but that guy has got so much luck on his side. It's unbelievable, Randy. Last week finishes dead last at Eldora, and this week, all the guys he's running against besides Kendall Tucker are not making the feature, or they're getting crashed early on, man. It's crazy how this thing works out for him.
Yeah, absolutely right with that one. As I look for confirmation, and the answer I get is they're going to be starting 4 wide here. So thanks for Lewis Hewitt for the fabulous information. Looks like they're going to trust them and go back to 2 wide. So we'll probably this will be their final attempt if they can't clean it up a little bit. As just taking a look at some movers and shakers already. Look at that 32 is Steven Wilson chase. Rolled off 11th. He already sits 6th. We're only 10 laps into this thing. Casey Kerwin goes from 13th back to all the way up to 8th. So things looking good for drivers starting in your mid-pack and moving their way in toward the top 10.
Yeah, obviously, that's great for, Steven Wilson, man. We haven't really talked about him a whole lot. Hasn't made all the features this year. Came into the points pretty far back. He's having a solid run right now, just outside the top 5. He starts 6th right here for this restart on the outside of Kevin Dedman. So, Wilson, man, this just goes to show you how many more of these guys are able to win these races. There's a couple guys up front right now we haven't talked about all season long that have a shot at this one right now.
Lights are out on the safety truck. We're going back to green flag racing this 9. The 999 of Dylan Fox has been good on the restarts thus far, and we are green as they come off turn number 4. And Bergeron trying to fight on the outside, but he can't maintain the overlap. The 999 will get single file as they roll through 1 and 2. Look at him still jockeying for position up and down the field.
Yeah, Dylan Fox has had some really good restarts so far tonight, man. He seems to pull out to a good couple car length advantage, but Bergeron already roping him back in. Here comes the 00 Tucker back down to the inside. Still a lot of laps to go. Looks like 35, at least 36 laps to go in this one. So still a lot of time to feel your car out, feel what this racetrack's going to do. So these guys are going to take it easy, hopefully, for a couple laps here. We can get them a little bit strung out and hopefully have a lot less cautions here.
Running in third right now, the 00 of Kendall Tucker coming into this race second in the points. He's trying to maximize on the 44. Blake Cannon's misfortune here. The 12 of Bergeron runs well up the racetrack. Exiting turn 2, nearly finds the wall. The 00 of Kendall Tucker nearly follows him in the 0 of Kevin Dedman. He's going to run the bottom. Everyone's starting to move up the racetrack just a little bit as the 37 of Randall Carter. He's going to try to stay side by side with Kevin Dedman. Won't quite be able to do so. A little bit of contact behind as one of Austin Carr. He got onto Stephen Wilson, who was fighting with Blake Matulis in the 127.
Slowly but surely, the 0 car of Kevin Dedman's making his way to the front here. He started about around the 10th spot. He's up to 4th now. The 0 car, every single week, man, he ends up in the top 5, and that's exactly what you need to do to win one of these championships. But I know the one thing that's on Dedman's mind here tonight is a big W in the column right now. Kevin Dedman doing everything he can right now on the bottom of the racetrack to get up to the front.
12 of Bergeron as well. He's reeled that 999 and Dylan Fox back in, and we're starting to see Bergeron run the line. He's so comfortable doing up top. We know that traditionally in the sprint cars, Donnie Schatz likes to run the bottom, but the 12 of Bergeron, in both the sprints and the late models, he loves being right up against the outside wall. He'll lose a little bit of ground to the 999 this time as he goes down the racetrack a little bit, but running a bit of a slider line through the middle of the racetrack up into the outside wall.
Yeah, Dylan Fox that last time by was a 10th faster than Bergeron, so Fox on the bottom is making some pretty good time. We know it. We've seen it here many times at Volusia. By the end of this race, the top of the racetrack comes in, and that's where Bergeron's going to be. He'll be the first one to find it, and the first one to be making up time up there. Looks like Kendall Tucker's now migrated up there as well behind him in the 3rd spot, with Dedman and Carter rounding out the top 5.
The 00 and the 12 really running identical lines. This time, though, the 00, he just runs the middle and really diamonds off the exit of turn 4. Fight for, I believe, this is 9th on the racetrack. The 044 and the 14. That's Tyler Schell and Casey Kerwin. They're currently nose to tail and nearly side by side of the 14 of Kerwin, trying to set up the move here down the back straightaway in towards 3 and 4. He's going to nose ahead, gives them a little bit of a shove, and they're going to get tight. The 07 of Howard Weaver, by the way, he started this race from the end of the longest line. He's nearly got his way up in towards the top 10 as we're not even halfway.
Yeah, how about the 41 car in that mix as well? The guy that won the B-main event, Shad Prescott, just outside the top 10 in that 41 car, just like we saw him last week at Eldora, man. He came from the back, ended up right around the top 5. He looks to the outside of Tyler Schell for the top 10 position. Schell back to the bottom, Prescott up top. He's going to follow that 14 of Kerwan down the back straightaway.
Out of the back straight, the 07 car trying to set up a move here, but the doors slammed shut by the 044 and the 41 ahead of him. Casey Kerwin able to get clear and going to try to start reeling in that 32 of Stephen Wilson out in front. But look at the 044 of Tyler Schell, so close to the side of Shad Prescott. The bulk of the field goes to the bottom. The 41 of Prescott up top, though, and it's not going to do him many favors. The 044 will just about get clear into 3, but look at the way he carries momentum into turns 3. That 41 car is Shad Prescott. A lot of grip starting to form up top in 3 and 4.
I was just about to say that, Randy. I was watching the lap times that last time by, and Bergeron on the top is tracking down your leader, Dylan Fox. He's not picking up a whole lot of time, but it's enough to be closing the gap a little bit. Now Fox switches his lineup, runs the middle of the racetrack right there. Bergeron running the slider line. So a lot of different lines being displayed here at Volusia Speedway Park for these World of Outlaws Morton Billings late models, man. It's about to get good up front between the 999 and the 12 of Bergeron.
And it's not just Alex we need to watch. 2 laps in a row, Kendall Tucker was the quickest of the top 3 on the lap times. This trip through, he's going to falter just a little bit. He will be the slowest of the top 3, but only by 0.04 of a second. Your top 3 all separated by 0.04 in terms of lap time. Alex is there on the 999, but you just see the line he's running. He's not able to maintain that momentum off the corner as we're now officially past halfway.
Yeah, Dylan Fox, this is where you got to really be looking in your rearview mirror and figuring out where that 12 car is better than you, because, you know, that 12 car, we've seen it in the past. He makes a move, and once he gets by you, there's no getting back by him. So I know Fox's spotter's telling him right now behind him that Bergeron's running a little bit better lap times. Now Fox moves up the racetrack right there in 1 and 2 a little bit. Bergeron almost into the wall down the back stretch, but tags the cushion real nice right there. Goes back to the top in 3 and 4, almost side by side up front for the lead on lap number 28.
Just can't quite get there, though. Alex just can't maintain the momentum and get the run off the corner and the speed mid-corner for the 12 of Bergeron, though. He's closing on that 999 car. Seems like the bottom is still where that pace is, but Alex still trying to fish for it. Going to slide again right through that slick stuff, right up to the nice tacky dirt up there on the cushion, but that gives the 999 about a car width. But Alex is putting so much pressure on this 999 of Dylan Fox right now.
Yeah, insert the 00 of Kendall Tucker back into the mix as well. They're all separated by about 2, make that 5 car lengths between your top 3. Tucker still running faster lap times than your leader. The fastest of the 3 of them, though, is the 12 of Bergeron, working on lap number 31 right now. Still 19 laps to go, and that's a lot of time to make up here. These guys, anything can happen here in these last 19 laps, and I don't think that lap traffic's going to play a factor here tonight.
Don't think so. We don't traditionally see lap traffic really be too much of an issue for these guys. Everyone just so equal on pace. The whole championship so competitive. Right now we still have all 20 cars out there running. The bulk of the field, 19 cars separated by 10 seconds on the racetrack. And then James Eden's the only one who's dropped back a little bit. He's got damage on that number 52. The 12 of Bergeron going to get a little bit loose coming off of 4, but it seems like he's able to set up a better run that time. Doesn't lose ground to the 999 coming off the corner through 1 and 2. Aggressive once again on the entry, but just slow on the exit is the 12.
Yeah, he's got to try something different, I think, Randy, if he wants to get by that 999 of Dylan Fox. The fastest car on the racetrack that last time by the way, is a 0 car of Kevin Dedman. Ran in 2 compared to the rest of these guys up front are running 3. So Dedman is on the move in the 0 car, but does he have enough time? 16 laps to go. And the battle up front, it looks like it's now about to be a 2-horse race between the 999 and the 12. The 00 of Kendall Tucker's really fallen out of the mix now, in my opinion, Randy, is this, the 12 car Bergeron. Man, still working the car length off the back bumper of him.
He's so close. I think Alex needs to just run that bottom line through 3 and 4. I think the top is good through 1 and 2, but I think you need to be down low at this end of the racetrack. If you look at the way he gains ground, but just look what he loses all through corner number 4. That's where his time loss is at the moment, and what's keeping him from setting up this pass. Through 1 and 2 once again, he makes up the ground on the top side, able to get a good run down the back straightaway, but actually Dylan Fox, he hooks up the slick stuff really well. Alex tags the wall and entry in towards 3 as we're inside of 15 to go.
And this is where it's starting to get heated right now. When does Bergeron make the move? Does he throw him a slider down here in one of these corners? It looks like it's not going to be able to happen, though, because Fox running in the middle of the racetrack. There's no way the 12 car will be able to clear a slide job. He's going to have to drive around him. If Alex Bergeron wants to win this thing, he's going to have to come get it, because the 999 of Dylan Fox is putting up one hell of a fight right now.
But Alex is not letting him get away. He's going to be a little bit lower in towards 1 and 2 this time. One a little bit more traditional of a slider line, but look at the ground lost. On off of corner 2 and down the back straightaway once again. Cars starting to migrate up to the top side. The 999 of Dylan Fox has left that inside wall in 3 and 4. The 00 Kendall Tucker, he's running the middle in 3 and 4 as well. So really pretty much just slick stuff down on the bottom at the moment. And the 12 of Bergeron still trying to work the 999. Dylan Fox and set up a don't really have any other fights up and down the field. Couple close gaggles with the 14 of Kerwin. He's fighting with Jacob Fields, but it's really this fight for the lead that's the close one.
Yeah, absolutely, and the most important one on the racetrack at that, Randy. There's one lap car they need to deal with. It's a 52 car, James Edens. He works down the backstretch just in front of your leaders. I'm sure Edens will give him plenty of room to get by. He does not want to have any kind of issues and be suspended for a couple more races here. The 52 car going to get out of the way here, no problem. 9 laps to go for Dylan Fox. Alex Bergeron tries the slider line once again in 1 and 2. Trying to track him down, and man, Fox really gaps him down the backstretch right there.
He's just got so much traction coming off the corner at the moment. The 999 of Dylan Fox, he's caught that lap car of James Edens, but hasn't quite been able to put him in the rear view just yet. There is another tight fight, by the way, just ahead of these guys. That'll be more lap traffic. They're about a straightaway back from it at the moment. But if they manage to get there, this is going to change everything.
Wow, that's huge right there. The 14 car, Kerwin, last week's 3rd place finisher, looks like he was involved. I did not quite see what happened. I'm trying to go through the replay. It looks like something happened with him in the 33 car of Evan C. That's the 2nd incident tonight for Evan C. So not a good night for him in the championship as he gets turned around there with the 14 of Kerwin, and the 42 Virgil Graham was right there as well.
I'd love to see that replay on board of the 42 of Virgil Graham, because Virgil, he kind of sent it into turn 3, saw that incident happen, had to pitch that car sideways, and it was like something out of a Ken Block, Jim Connor video, the way that he had to sort of just about eke past you. Watching you see that 14 car spin in front of him, and he just eats around the 33 and the 14 after they spin out. So good driving there to avoid that incident and prevent it from becoming something even bigger. But a late race restart here is going to be a big change up for everything. Now Alex Bergeron, if he can just time this restart chase, he might have an opportunity, and we've seen him time the restarts in the past.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure, man. And I think that we know with this yellow, these guys to calm down a little bit. They know it's going to be a quick dash to the end. And Kendall Tucker, I was watching his lap times those last couple of laps while those guys pulled away. Once they got about 10 car lengths ahead, Tucker was running some better lap times than them. So I think we might have a 3-car battle for the lead these last couple of laps. And how about the run right now for the 1 car of Austin Carr from 12th up to the 5th spot right now? He might be a factor at the end of this one.
Austin's been our big mover thus far, I think, of all the cars out on the racetrack. A couple of others that have moved up more positions, but they started deeper in the field. For the most part, though, everyone that's kind of had a good run up towards the head of the field has gotten caught up in some incidents. Looks like it's going to be a single file restart here when we go back to green flag racing. That's not going to be good news for Alex Bergeron. He wanted that side-by-side fight to be able to make that work. So the single file out with 5 laps left to go here, Chase. Bergeron is not going to have a lot of opportunities, and I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe gives that 999 a bumper if he gets the opportunity to do so. We're coming to the green.
Yeah, absolutely. Bergeron loves winning these races, man. He's trying to add another $300 into his back pocket. Here we go. The final 5 laps from Volusia Speedway Park is back to green. Dylan Fox with another good start. Gaps Bergeron by about a car length. Here comes the 0-0 of Kendall Tucker around the bottom. Man, Bergeron nearly got into the back bumper right there of your race leader. And now Tucker to the inside of Bergeron for second.
Fight for the race win, might be gone for the 12, and he might have to hold on to second. The 0-0 of Kendall Tucker is there. The 0 of Kevin Dedman. He's latched onto the back of the 0-0 as well. In towards 1 and 2. They all try the bottom. The 0-0 is going to slide up to the cushion. The 12 will run the middle. Sort of run the Dylan Fox line, but did he wait too long to maybe try it? 3 laps to go. They're off of 4.
Yep, 3 laps to go, and here comes the 0 car of Kevin Dedman now to the inside of the 0-0. Tucker, 3-car battle for second, almost 3 wide for second. Contact right there between the 0 and the 0-0. Now the 1 car of Austin Carr splits the difference down the back straightaway. Austin Carr from 12th up to 4th now.
2 laps remaining at Volusia as they come off turn 4. 3 wide for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Austin Carr up top. He's going to have the $100 third place running spot at the moment, but will he hold on to it through 1 and 2? The 0-0 of Kendall Tucker runs the bottom, but can't quite hook it up as we get a caution, and that might just end it.
I think that will end as they're coming around for the white flag right here, and it looks like Dylan Fox is going to be credited. If I'm not mistaken, he will be credited with this victory here tonight, I believe, Randy.
Yep, he will. The 07 of Howard Weaver and the 41 of Shad Prescott get involved. They also can tangle with the 33, but it's going to be Shad Prescott who is really the big loser there. But the big winner tonight, after 50 laps of racing, it'll be the first time in the World of Outlaws World Championships this year that we don't end it under green. But Dylan Fox behind the safety truck, he will get himself a $300 purse for winning here tonight, and a big points gain on everyone as he takes victory at the halfway point of the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings late model iRacing Championship Series here at Volusia.
This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Race fans, you wanted the best? You've got them. Live on DirtVision.com. Presented by Dry D. The World of Outlaws, NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, the World of Outlaws, Morton Buildings Late Models, Knoxville Raceway, and the Knoxville Nationals, and the Dirt Cars Summer Nationals are all available live. Sprint Car and Late Model Fast Passes are available now for just $39 a month, with single event subscriptions available as well. From Volusia to Charlotte, Fairbury to Lernerville, Eldora to Macon, and everywhere in between. Dirt Vision has you covered all season long. Every race, live, anywhere, anytime. Don't be left in the dust. Sign up for Dirt Vision today.
quarter-mile dirt track racing always provides fireworks. And for the 6th round of the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Models iRacing Championship Series, we come to our second of 3 stops here for this championship to the quarter-mile racetracks here at Kokomo Speedway in Indiana. Randy Chinitz, Chase Rodman, and Hugo Louis bringing you all the action for this one. Kokomo, famous for non-wing sprint car racing. USAC, of course, runs here consistently, and this is a staple hold on Indiana Sprint Week. Late models, they're going to provide an awesome race here tonight, though, Chase. We saw some fantastic racing at Lima Land and 2 very similar racetracks, quarter mile, high banks. We're going to see these guys ripping the top all night.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the bottom's going to be pretty good here. When the sprint cars came here last season for the World of Outlaws non-energy sprint car series, the bottom of the racetrack was good as well. So after what we saw at Lime Land between Alex Bergeron and Blake Cannon, I think we are definitely in for a good show here tonight at Kokomo.
This track a little bit of a stand-in because, of course, the real-world World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Championship Series, they had their stop for the Prairie Dirt Classic this weekend at Fairbury American Legion Speedway. That's a quarter-mile dirt track as well. And matter of fact, it's going to be the next track we get on the iRacing service. Brandon Shepard won that one as we take a look at the points for this championship. Kendall Tucker currently leads the way, and an interesting stat, we have had 5 different winners through 5 races, and every single week we have had a different name leading the points. Blake Cannon has led the points twice, but it started out with Cardwell after week 1, then Blake Cannon led at the end of week 2, Alex Bergeron after week 3, Cannon once again led after week 4, and then Kendall Tucker currently leads the points as we see here after week number 5. Kendall Tucker leading the points right now, Chase. Consistency pays off in dividends. He has yet to win a race, and he finds himself clear of a number of drivers that already have.
It just shows how ultra competitive this series is right now, Randy. 5 winners in 5 races. That is pretty incredible to see. And Tucker, like you mentioned, has not even won a race yet. He's just running up front every single week. Finds himself 15 points ahead of Alex Bergeron, then Evan C. 35 back, then the 127 of Blake Majulis back 36, then Kevin Dedman and Blake Cannon. I think really those top 6 guys are still mathematically, I guess they're obviously mathematically in it, but I think they definitely still have a shot to get back up there with the 00 and the 12 car. So tonight is going to be a deciding factor, though. We are this is just 1 race past the halfway mark here, so this is when these guys are really going to be focusing on these point standings.
1 minute left in qualifying and hot laps, and right now pole position is dominated by one of those drivers near the head of the field in points. 33 of Evan C. He's come up short a couple of times this season on a win, and he was quickest driver for a moment. The 44 of Blake Cannon steals it with a minute left, 0.03 of a second quicker. They're both a 10.5 clear of the next quickest driver. That's the 35 of Nick Cooper, who's down to the 12.8s right now. Blake Cannon and Evan C., the only 2 drivers in the 12.6s. We have 2 drivers still need to put in times. Kendall Tucker, your points leader. He's on track right now in the 00. First lap for him, a 12.968, which puts him right in the middle of the field. Second attempt's going to have to be quicker if he wants to be up near the head of the field, and it will not. Matter of fact, he loses for tenths. Alex Bergeron, his second lap, he will go 3rd quickest. He'll split the previous 2 times in there with a 12.7. So it's going to be Cannon and C who are comfortably in the top 2 in the 12.6s, and Bergeron, after being slowest in, well, one of the slowest in the practice session, he rebounds to a 12.7 in qualifying, Chase.
Yeah, but Blake Cannon and Evan C. burning some really good laps there, almost a 10th better, or over a 10th better than the rest of the field there. So that 44 car and the 33 car both have something figured out. They went to the drawing board and really turned a lot of practice laps here this week. And, you know, Blake Cannon these last couple of weeks there, Randy, he's been on the road racing in real life. He's been having to race at other people's houses, not his regular setup, and it's definitely affected his performance, dropping him out of the championship lead. But tonight, he's back at his own house on his own rig, and he goes quick time here at Kokomo. So these guys better watch out. That 44 car's back on it.
Let's go down the starting grid for heat race number 1 here. This is going to be that 44 Blake Cannon with quick time. Dylan Hauser as well. He comes back after a 1-week break. He'll be starting on the outside of that front row with Garrett Robinson and Howard Weaver on row number 2. Randall Carter and Austin Carr on row number 3 with Drew Hirschko and Phil Diaz on row 4. Let's take a quick peek at the event format for this championship, and if you've not tuned in any of the races thus far, you've been missing out. But this is what we have on tap for you. It's going to be 4 heat races races of 8 laps each. The top 4 from each heat will advance to the feature. And then tonight, things are going to be a little different with the LCQ, similar to last week. 29 cars turned up last week. We have 29 cars tonight. We were going to have a single LCQ, of which the top 4 will advance to the feature event. And then it'll be a 50-lap feature that'll award all the points and all the other goodies for that one. So things are getting ready to roll off here for this opening heat race. Blake Cannon in the 44. He looks keen on rebounding after a horrible week that brought us to halfway after Felicia.
Yeah, he didn't even make the feature last week, which really dropped him pretty far down in the point standings, but he's got the best seat in the house here, heat race number 1. If he's able to win this heat race, he will automatically start on the front row of tonight's feature. But the guy that starts to his outside, a winner earlier this season at Eldora Speedway, Dylan Hauser, man, he's going to be hard to beat here. He actually took a week off after that Eldora victory. He got suspended after making some contact with some other drivers in that race. But Hauser, he's back, and he's looking to go up here, up in the front of this heat race and start on the pole of tonight's feature event. So Cannon, this one's not going to be easy for him. He's also got the likes of Weaver and Robinson behind him, as well as Austin Carr, who ran on the podium last week. So this one's not going to be easy. Every heat race is stacked with these guys.
Definitely, there's so many drivers, of course, through 5 races, 5 different winners, and so many people who have held the championship points lead. The iRacing safety truck peels onto pit road early here, so it's going to be the 44 who holds them up for a while. The 2 of Hauser trying to jump it, and he's actually going to get a good restart here. We're green here at Kokomo. Look at the slide the 44 has to throw to get that thing turned on the bottom through 1 and 2. He chops the nose of Hauser, who immediately leaps underneath them. Slide job for the lead already, and the 44 gets back down to the bottom, but Dylan Hauser will lead lap number 1.
And this is pretty normal stuff to see here at the Kokomo Speedway. Hauser's into the wall off turn number 2. He's going to keep his foot in and drive right back around the outside of Blake Cannon. What a move there by the 2 car of Hauser. Now Cannon slides in front of him off turn 4. Hauser leads on lap number 3. We're already getting after it early here at Kokomo, Randy. This is what we're used to seeing here with the non-wing sprint cars. Contact for the lead.
44 Cannon gives a little bit of a bumper there to the 2 car of Hauser, who's now going to have to hold onto that spot over the 97 of Garrett Robinson. Garrett not quite close enough to throw the slider behind, fighting for the bubble spot. Howard Weaver's trying to hold off that 1 car of Austin Carr. You also have Randall Carter involved in that fight in the 37 as well, as the 07 able to open up a little bit of a gap, and Dylan Hauser in the 2. He starts working on the double 4 once again, but again finds himself in the outside wall on the exit of 2. But look at the way that slick Simsport car closes on the 44 as Weaver gives a bit of a shoulder there for the 3rd spot.
Yeah, contact between Weaver and the 97 car of Garrett Robinson. Almost contact for the lead as well as Hauser to the wall in the back straightaway again, but move Howard Weaver now up to 3rd, and here comes the 1 car of Austin Carr to the outside of the 97 of Robinson for the final transfer spot. A 3-car battle, a 3-car tussle for that transfer spot right now.
Lap and a half to go, and I don't know to watch the lead or to watch the bubble spot. Let's watch the bubble spot as Robinson. He held it for a moment, but Austin Carr is going to hook it up on the outside off of turn 4. White flag this time in towards corners number 1 and 2. Your top 3 get a little bit separated. The 97 of Garrett Robinson. He's going to work the bottom on the 1 of Austin Carr. They're going to be side by side through turn 3 and off of 4. The momentum is going to be strong at top, but Garrett Robinson is going to win the drag race. He will transfer to the main event. Austin Carr will lose out, and your full running order through heat race number 1 is going to be Blake Cannon taking victory with Dylan Hauser in that 2nd spot. Howard Weaver in 3rd with Garrett Robinson in 4th. Austin Carr, Randall Carter, Drew Hirschkill, and Phil Diaz will round out your 8-car field. This is an exciting racetrack here following that opening race chase. Tons of slide jobs up and down the field.
Yeah, already getting really excited here, man. We're only 1 heat race in. We've got 3 more to go, a B-man and a 50-lap feature. But how about the move there by Garrett Robinson coming off turn 4, Randy? He looked like that he was going to make it, but he slid up in front of Austin Carr right at the start-finish line, so he couldn't sneak by him on the outside, and he came home with that transfer spot. So a good move there from the 97 of Robinson. I'm sure we're going to see that a little bit more here throughout the night. But heat race number 2 is about to roll off.
Let's go down your starting grid. It's going to be the 33 of Evan C. We talked about the fact Tim nearly taking quick time before it got robbed away from him by Blake Cannon. He'll start on the pole for heat race number 2 with Virgil Graham on his outside. Casey Kerwin and Zach Leonardi on that 2nd row with Adam Elby and Austin Selman on road number 3, and Matt McKinney going to be the lone driver there in the 7th spot on row number 4. That 2nd row is the one to watch, I think, Chase. Kerwin's been on a bit of a hot streak between this championship and the Peak Series, taking a big 2nd place at Pocono last week as well. And Leonardi, he needs to get some momentum moving forward. The defending series champion, he finds himself buried in the points, and he's yet to come away with a win in only 1 top 5 in 5 races. We're about to go green.
Yeah, Leon Hardy was fastest overall in practice here tonight at the Kokomo Speedway. Green flag off turn number 4. The 33 car Evan C. will lead him down to the start-finish line. And already a battle going on for that second spot. The 14 car Casey Kerwin goes down to the bottom in 1 and 2, where we saw him run up to a podium spot at Eldora Speedway. That 14 car loves it right around those infield tires.
He's working that bottom line right now, and he's got his way up into second. The 33 of Evan C. able to get a little bit away, but look at the 42 of Virgil Graham trying to run the cushion. He actually gets into the wall just a little bit as Kerwin throwing a big slide in towards turn 3, trying to get clear of that 42, and he will do so as neither of them are letting that 33 break away. The 42 now runs the middle as Evan C. tags the wall off of 2. The 14 of Kerwin is running for the lead.
Yeah, the Clint Boyer Racing number 14 car, Casey Kerwin, looks really good. He slides up the racetrack. He's going to lead on lap number 4. So the bottom of the racetrack looks really good. 3 wide, almost 4 wide for lead through turns 1 and 2 right there. Casey Kerwin comes out on the top in that fight. The 42 car Virgil Graham now to second. The 33 car of Evan C's now slipped back to the bubble spot in the transfer spot, though.
14 of Kerwin has trouble though. The 42 of Virgil Graham on his outside. The 24 of Zach Leonardi is up there. The 33 of Evan C. nearly losing a transfer spot after starting this race on the pole, leading a couple laps. He gets into the 24, and they're going to be 3 wide for third. Down there on the bottom, you have the 74 of Adam Elby. He was in the transfer spot there at the line that time. It was Leonardi who would not has transferred to the 14 of Kerwin. Come to 2 laps to go. It's going to lead heat race number 2 in towards 1 and 2 for the penultimate time, and the 14 is just about clear. I think he's got this. There's still 3 wide though for third, fourth, and fifth. The 33 of CE gets tagged by Adam Elby through 3 and 4 for the penultimate time, and in towards 1 and 2. White flag, they're going to be seeing it. There's still 3 wide for third, fourth, and fifth. Elby throws it in hard in towards turn 1. He's going to just about get clear. Zach Leonardi's going to throw it all the way down to the bottom to try to get there and rob that, and Evan C. will not transfer after starting on the pole position for this second heat race. It's going to be Casey Kerwin, Virgil Graham, Adam Elby, and Zach Leonardi, your 4 cars who transfer. C, Simmelman, and McKinney will have to do it through the LCQ. And for Evan C. Chase, those are races you have to transfer with this point situation. To start on the pole and so quickly get shuffled down to the midfield, that is just a disaster for that 33.
Yeah, it just shows how much you got to keep up with this racetrack and watch every lap that you see out there to see what the fastest line is. And Evan C., man, he really lost out there. Started on the pole, ends up 5th. He'll have to run it from the B main. But the move by Zach Leon Hardy, my jaw hit my desk right there, Randy. What a power move down to the inside in 3 and 4. He slid up and ran right, Evan C. ran right into his back bumper coming to the start-finish line and was not able to get a run and get back by him. Leon Hardy with a perfect maneuver there to get the final transfer spot as heat race number 3 now pulls off, and they're rolling down to the turns 1 and 2.
Let's go down your starting grid for this one. It's going to be Alex Bergeron and Blake Matulis on that front row, with Chris Beck and Jeremy Caprone on row number 2. Tyler Schell and Brian Wayant Jr. on row 3, with Brandon Proudfoot rounding out the 7-car field in this one. The 88 of Brian Wayant, we saw this from Ben Nelson in the Peak Series. How about a little VR cam, going World of Outlaws Morton Buildings late model racing here, as the field's going to get the 1 to go signal. We'll wait until we go green, and you're going to see a lot more head movement here in these late models than you would in the Peak Series with Ben Nelson. Down the back straightaway, Bergeron going to be in command of the field as that safety truck comes down on towards pit road. And you see right there Brian Wayant trying to get amped up to go racing. The 12 is going to hold him up. They're already 4 wide. They haven't even started yet. The 12 of Bergeron will not beat the 127 of Blake Matulis to the line, but the 12 down there on the bottom trying to fight with the 127, and Blake's going to have the lead for now.
Yeah, a good start for that 127 of Blake Majulis. He's another one of the guys that's been up there in the championship standings all season long, but does not have a victory. He leads, and now contact, and Jeremy Caprone's head onto the wall into turn number 1. Contact between him and Chris Beck. Also, the 044 Tyler Schell got in there as well, so not a good start to this one for Jeremy Caprone as he falls all the way back to the rear of the field.
That's going to see him have to do this through the LCQ for sure. The 12 of Bergeron fights with the 127 of Matulis as they work in towards 1 and 2. The 12 on the bottom, the 127 up top. Blake has led the last couple of laps, but Alex is holding strong down there on the bottom. Typically, we see Alex like running the top, but he's looking like a bottom feeder right now, and I think that's the place where you want to be. We saw the 14 of Kerwin run down there, and the 12 of Bergeron is not giving up.
The 127 thinks it's the top of the racetrack, and 1 and 2 is the place to be. He keeps that right rear tire up on the cushion. He likes to run the middle down here in 3 and 4, though, and he chops the nose on that 12-car Bergeron. Bergeron slides up the racetrack, almost some contact off turn 4. 6 down and 2 laps to go. It looks like your top 2 have broken away from the third-place car. It looks like, I think that's Nick Cooper back there in the 35 car, and then Tyler Schell, the 39 of Chris Beck, and then the 044 of Tyler Schell right now, your transfer cars.
The 88 of Brian Wayand Jr. is trying to get into that transfer spot as well as we bring up that VR cam. See the 044 Shell he's fighting with here as they work down the back straightaway and in towards 3 and 4. It's going to be white flag this time. Your top two have spread out, and this is the fight to watch as down the front straightaway and in towards 1 and 2. Going to try to work the bottom. This Brian Wayand Jr. is a little bit of a slider and get a little bit of a rear fender to Tyler Shell. 3 and 4 for the final time. Matulis is going to win the heat. The 88 of Brian Wayand Jr. will not run his way into the feature just yet. He will have to do it in the LCQ. He was just a 1/10 of a second short as your finishing results for heat race number 3. We Blake Matulis with the win, Bergeron in second, Chris Beck in third, Tyler Shell will round out your top 4 with Brian Wayand Jr., Brandon Proudfoot, and Jeremy Caprone rounding out the top 7. And Chase, I might have to get one of those VR headsets. That looks like a ton of fun.
Yeah, it definitely is a ton of fun. I've gotten to do it a couple of times, but I just get a little bit too dizzy, so I'm just going to stick with the single monitor. You use my regular eyes to race here on iRacing.com, but you know, if you're one of those guys that likes to get really into it, and you know, a lot of these championship guys there, Randy, run those VR headsets, and it definitely helps them out a little bit as far as, you know, being able to look around a little bit more and see where your competitors are at. So if you want to get into VR, man, it's definitely a good investment if you're trying to make up here to this top series.
So as we grid up our 4th and final heat race of the night, let's go down the 7-car starting grid for this one. It's going to be Nick Cooper on the pole with Blake Brown starting to his outside. Kevin Dedman and Kendall Tucker, your points leader on the outside of that second row, and that 0 car of Kevin Dedman. He's had a lot of speed all year as well. Dylan Fox and Steve Wilson on row 3 with the 007 of Jacob Fields. People have been really aggressive trying to time these starts here, Chase, and we saw that at the start of the last heat. We saw those second, couple rows really stack themselves up, and that can cause issues. We got lucky in the last one.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what I've noticed, we've only had one heat race, pole sitter actually win the heat, and that was Blake Cannon in heat race number 1. The rest of the guys that start on the pole have not been able to pull off the heat race victory. So for Nick Cooper, that's not looking too good for him. But how about this guy, the 999 last week's main event winner, Dylan Fox? He's got to run up here and get by a couple of cars, get into a transfer spot. Watch for him here in this heat race as we go green.
35 Nick Cooper will bring him to green. He goes right to the bottom. The 77 of Blake Brown. He gets tied up top, and he's going to lose second, but possibly more. Nearly 3 wide off of turn 2. Bit of contact, but you got to get the thing sideways to get turned in anyways. And your points leader, Kendall Tucker, he's going to get shuffled to the back of the field, and he's still getting touched. The 007 of Jacob Fields is going to get into the back of him. So out of the head of the field, it's going to be the 35, the 77, and the 0. But your championship points leader outside of a transfer spot early.
Now here he comes down to the outside, the 32 car, Steven Wilson. Looks like the top of the racetrack's working real nice for the 00 Kendall Tucker. He's not out of it yet. The 32 car, though, really pole-putting that thing around the bottom of the racetrack. Steven Wilson, we saw him show speed last week at Volusia, but here comes Tucker. He knows he's the championship points leader. He's got to get in the feature. You do not want to run a B main with these World of Outlaws Morton Buildings late models here on iRacing.com. We've seen how much chaos is at the back of these fields, and Tucker knows that he's got to make it in here in these 8 laps.
The 77 of Blake Brown harassing Nick Cooper as well for the lead. It's not going to work out through 1 and 2 as that bottom line continues to be the place to be. As still fighting on the outside is that 00 of Kendall Tucker on Steven Wilson, but he just can't quite get the job done. Actually at the line, he wins the drag race by 3/100ths of a second. So this is going to be tight. We know that Kendall doesn't necessarily have to get clear. He just has to beat that nose there as we're coming to 2 to go.
Tucker's got the spot for now, but Steven Wilson's not going away easy. He goes back to the bottom, nearly grabs a tractor tire there in the center of turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway they go, coming around for the white flag. Ken Wilson, get in front of your points leader for the final transfer spot. Still side by side for second between the 0 of Kevin Dedman and the 77 of Blake Brown. Wow, Dedman nearly gets tagged from behind by the 32 of Wilson. They go down the back straightaway one more time. It looks like the 00 is going to go for 2 guys here on this final corner. He's going to get around the outside of Dedman for third. What move there by Kendall Tucker. He ends up third. Cooper wins it. The 77 of Brown in second, then Tucker, and then your final transfer will go to the 0 car of Kevin Dedman. What a move there by the 00 of Kendall Tucker to take over third.
Well, yeah, what a move there by Kendall indeed. I thought we were going to be talking about another Blake Cannon situation with your points leader maybe missing the feature, but Kendall Tucker able to beat it out. He finishes third, and he will start deep, but he will start in the feature nonetheless. Your full race results: Nick Cooper, Blake Brown, Kendall Tucker, Kevin Dedman, Steven Wilson, Jacob Fields, and Dylan Fox. The B main is getting itself gridded up right now, and let's go down the 13-car starting grid that will battle for 12 laps to decide the final 4 starting spots. Austin Carr will be on that pole position with Evan C. starting on his outside. Brian Wayant Jr. the inside of row number 2 with Steven Wilson on the outside. Row 3 will be Randall Carter and Austin Sellerman. Brandon Proudfoot and Jacob Fields on row number 4. Drew Hirschko and Matt McKinney on row 5. Jeremy Caprone and Dylan Fox on row 6. And Phil Diaz rounding out this 13-car field. A lot of heavy hitters and a lot of relevant drivers in the championship. The 33 of Evan C. stands out to me. And, of course, the 999, last week's main event winner. He's going to pass 8 cars to transfer here, Chase.
Yeah, Dylan Fox has got a long road ahead of him right now, starting in that 12th spot. I'm not sure what happened in the heat race, but he was 2 seconds behind the rest of the field. So Fox might have got into the wall or something, might have caught an incident there at the back of the field that we didn't see, but he's got a lot of work to do. Austin Carr's a guy I'm going to be watching for. He's on the pole, man. He came from 12th, I think, last week and ended up on the podium. So that one car's got some speed, and he's able to make it up from the back of the field. So Carr's one to watch for, C, and Fox. And also we got our VR guy, Brian Wayne Jr. We'll see what he can do there in that 3rd spot. Going down the back straightaway, going green for 12 laps here. The final 4 transfer spots to the back of tonight's 50-lap main event here at Kokomo Speedway. Austin Carr, Evan C. Green flag is out. We're racing here in the B main event.
We're clean through the first couple rows, and here we go. They're going to start fighting 3 wide for that 3rd spot as they work down to the bottom. The 88 of Brian Wayne Jr. will hold on. The 32 of Steven Wilson. He's going to fight up top. Who's that running the wall on the outside? It's the 33 of Evan C. As he can't quite make it stick to 88 of Brian Wayne Jr., though. He's trying to fight for this race lead. Austin Carr's up against the wall. The 88's running up against the tires.
We got 6 guys, 2 rows, 2 by 2 by 2, man. This racetrack is absolutely perfect right now. We got a bottom, we got a top, and if you can run the middle, you can run there as well. Brian Wayne Jr. takes the lead from Austin Carr, but Carr's fighting back on the outside, and the battle for the transfer spots heating up between the 33C and the 007, or excuse me, the 37 of Randall Carter and the 18 car of Austin Selman. Almost 3 wide for leader off turn number 2 down the back straightaway.
They weren't quite 3 wide, but there's 3 different lanes being used, at least down in 1 and 2, the top, the middle, and the bottom, as the one of Austin Carr will take the point in towards turn 1 at the end of lap number 4. Brian Wayne Jr., though, through the middle and down the back straightaway, will just about get there before he has to get that thing turned in for turn 3. But look at this hornet's nest of cars behind the 33 of Wayne and the 32, the 33 of C. So many cars, the 18 of Selman, the 37 of Randall Carter, the 007 of Jacob Fields back there. One little hiccup will stack up this entire group as if they're not stacked up already.
Man, we saw this at Limeland, man. These quarter-mile bull rings, they put on the best show, and it's proven it right now once again here in the B-main event. Multiple grooves going on. The battle for the transfer spot up for grabs. Here comes the 007. Nope, it's not James Bond. It's Jacob Fields making his way into the picture as well. He's running in the 6th spot. He's only about 3 car lengths behind on that transfer spot as Steven Wilson and Evan C. go side by side right now for the 3rd spot.
007 car running just a couple spots outside the transfer. He has the license to thrill at the moment. The one of Austin Carr tags the wall on the exit of turn 2, but won't quite lose any spots there. The 33 of Evan C. hounding the outside of the 88 car of Brian Wayne Jr. And the 33 is going to pick up that 2nd spot at the moment, but the 88 down along the bottom is better, and the 33 finds the outside wall. 2 to go this time.
Here comes the 18 of Austin Selman. Oh, contact for the 3rd spot. Steven Wilson, what a save right there. Hangs on to it. That might have been the end of his race right there if he didn't crank it back to the right and hang on to it. He doesn't really lose that much ground to the guys behind him, so your top 4 look like they might be safe if they come off turn number 4 right here. White flag is out for your leader, Austin Carr. He's up on the top. Evan C's in the 2nd spot on the top side of the racetrack, and it's your VR guy, Brian Wayne Jr. down on the bottom with Steven Wilson in tow. Checkered flag this time by, and it's going to be those top 4 guys that'll make it into the back of tonight's main event.
Austin Carr, Evan C., Brian Wayne Jr., and Steven Wilson will transfer. Randall Carter, Jacob Fields, Austin Selman, Jeremy Caprone, Drew Hirschko, Brandon Proudfoot, Matt McKinney, Phil Diaz, and last week's main event winner who came into this race 7th in the points will not make the feature, and that may be the final nail in the coffin for his potential championship hopes. We are going to step aside for just a moment here on RaceSpot TV for your World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Championship Series. Here's a little bit of preview at Fairbury American Legion Speedway.
love this time of year. Only one can be champion. Let's go playoff racing. I said, hey, hey, oh, oh, hey, hey, there's no surrender. Let me hear my battle cry.
The Prairie Dirt Classic was absolutely phenomenal, and we're going to get a little bit of a taste here the same here in your World of Outlaws Morton Buildings late model iRacing Championship Series. As just past the halfway point, we come to the quarter miler at Kokomo. 50 laps are getting ready to be put on the board. Funny, the best chase. You have any ways to predict this? We have 3 different lanes of the racetrack working going into the feature. I don't know how you can.
Randy, I feel like we've got 6 different lanes of racing. I mean, this track is unbelievable right now. If you don't like this, I don't know what to tell you, because this is what it's all about right here. Kokomo Speedway delivering once again, whether it's in real life or whether it's here on iRacing.com. It proves to be one of the baddest bull rings, not only Indiana's baddest bull rings, but one of the baddest ones in the country. These guys have been putting on a show all night long, and these 50 laps are going to be possibly the best sim race I've seen all season long if these guys can keep it together here.
The timer for hot laps will count down to 0. Race officials will sound the horn, and the call to take the cars to the starting grid will come through. And let's go down that 20 car starting grid as we line them up 2 by 2, 10 rows deep. At the head of the field, it's going to be that number 44 of Blake Cannon. Last week, he was the points leader before missing the feature. This time, he comes into this race a little bit deeper in the points in 6th, puts in quick time, and is able to hold on for that pole position here in the feature event. And the 14 of Casey Kerwin, he started this championship just happy to make features, and now he's starting this one on the outside of that front row. Blake Matulis and Nick Cooper, both fantastic drivers to watching and provide fireworks. That 127 of Blake Matulis is still owed a race win this season, I would say. Watch out for him. Dylan Hauser and Virgil Graham on row number 3. The 2 of Hauser getting parked for a week. He's going to be looking to make up points here now that he's a race back on everyone he's competing with for this championship. An exciting road number 4 as well, with Alex Bergeron and Blake Brown. The 12 of Bergeron trying to be the first to win 2 championships in the same season, as we move back to row 5 of Howard Weaver and Adam Elby. Chris Beck, and your championship points leader coming into this race, Kendall Tucker, Garrett Robinson, and Zach Leonardi on row number 7. Tyler Schell and Kevin Dedman on row 8. Austin Carr and Evan C. on row number 9, with Brian Wayant Jr. and Steven Wilson rounding out the 20-car field. Chase, you got about a lap. Championship leaders, championship contenders up and down the field. This is going to be maybe the race of the season.
I think it might be, and I think with how this racetrack is, we might see a 6th different winner in 6 events here with the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Series. I'm going to be watching Casey Kerwin, man. We saw him in the door. He did not leave the bottom of the racetrack. He did it the same thing in the heat race and won that. So that 14 car is going to be putting the bottom here. As the pace truck pulls off, man, this is going to be an exciting one. Blake Cannon and Casey Kerwin, 50 laps. Indiana's baddest bull ring. Kokomo Speedway, we are green.
Blake Cannon's going to get clear, and the 14 of Kerwin's going to roll the middle of the 127. A Blake Matulis the bottom, 3 wide immediately for the race lead. Kerwin makes a little bit of contact with the 44 of Blake Cannon through 3 and 4, but they'll keep it clear. That 14 of Kerwin's going to get shuffled back to 4th as that 2 of Dylan Hauser on a charge. He's going to roll the middle and get up there towards the head of the field. And I also see the 12 of Bergeron rolling the bottom as well, but the 44 of Cannon's been able to hold on for the lead.
And my pre-race predictions out the window. The 14 of Casey Kerwin stepped the number 14 car up to the top of the racetrack. I don't think he can get down to the bottom yet where he wants to be. He's stuck on the outside of the 35 of Nick Cooper. They're still side by side up front. It's the 2 teammates, the Swindle Speed Lap cars. The 127 of Blake Majulis and the 44 car, Blake Cannon.
And look who's lining up that little pack on the outside. The 12 of Alex Bergeron is at the head of the field. Blake Cannon's going to make the pass of the race lead on Blake Matulis as Blake had it for a moment coming off of turn 2. Now the 2 of Hauser. Maybe a little contact with the 127, but not much either way. And the 44 Blake Cannon will open up a gap. Hauser, he finds the outside wall up for 2. And the 12 of Bergeron, he's already up 3 spots since this started. A little bit of side-by-side of the 14 of Kerwin. And he's trying to set up the 2 while defending from the 14 all at the same time. Slide from Hauser. He's going to go around, and he's going to end up upside down. Huge pile up on the entry into 3.
Yeah, that's huge right there. I have short-term memory loss or something, Randy. I did not remember seeing what happened there. I'll go back and watch the replay, but that was a huge incident there for Dylan Hauser, who was running in the 3rd spot. It looks like he came up the racetrack and just got right into the left side of Blake Majulis and nowhere to go for the 14 to Casey Kerwin. He's going to have heavy damage to the front end of that Clint Boyer Racing Peak Antifreeze number 14 car.
We'll have to get the medical team on hand to take a peek at Chase Rodman, because that hit was so heavy. I think Chase felt it up here in the commentary booth. But number of drivers involved there. The 14 of Kerwin, I think you have to feel bad for. And of course the 2 of Hauser, you know, having the situation he had after the Eldora race, comes in with good pace. And I still think he was in it for this championship chase. Even though he's a week back, he came in 8th in the points, you know, doing a lot better than some drivers who've run every single week. He's the sort of driver that has the potential to run up there near the front. But that's the danger with a race like this. We're getting ready to stack them up here. We have so many different lines available, so many different lines working. One little mistake can cause a huge pileup like that, really in the blink of an eye.
Well, how about this, Randy? How many times have we talked about this year? The top 5 right now, 4 of them Swindell Speed Lab Esports cars, and the same guy in the middle of them we saw a couple weeks ago. It's Alex Bergeron breaking up that Swindell Speed Lab pack. But man, these Swindell Speed Lab guys, every single week they make up the top 5, at least 2 or 3 of the spots. So here we go, man. Blake Cannon going to lead him back down to green. The 127.
We're already green, Chase. I think you're on replay. Blake Cannon leading in towards turn number 1. The 12 of Bergeron is trying to fight with the 127 though of Blake Matulis for the race lead at the head of the field. So we got another pileup going in towards turn number 3. Another car upside down. Caution's going to fly for the 2nd time. They're still piling him up here, out here on the racetrack. I think the 74 was involved in that one.
77
the 77 of Blake Brown as well, and I think that's where it sort of started. Blake and LB just made a little bit of contact, and LB got into that little wall that kind of juts out to the right-hand side, basically T-boned that, and that spat him down into the line of racing, and really no way to avoid that with the way that came down. The 77 gets upside down because of it, but man, oh man, Chase, that's 2 quick cautions here. And normally I like seeing the field get stacked up. They get 3 attempts before we start single filing them out. And I really think, actually, as racy as this racetrack is tonight, we might have to just single file these cars out to keep these races green and going. So many different lines of racing. It feels like with so many cars on track, we're pretty much inevitably going to see someone make contact here.
Yeah, we saw quite a few yellows last week at Volusia Speedway Park as well. But man, sorry to everybody watching at home. Good thing I don't run the cameras there, Randy, because the replays, I'm not very good at them. We are live now, though. Here we go. Blake Majulis and the 12 of Alex Bergeron leading back down, 14 laps in. Still got a lot of laps to go back to green.
127 of Batulis trying to get a big win here this season. We know that car has been strong. Hasn't quite been able to do so. Contact behind in the 44 Gannon, the 12 of Bergeron, the 00 Kendall Tucker. And look at that, the 07 of Howard Weaver. And we got cars spinning around once again. More cars piled up. I see the 74 of LB involved, the 0 of Deadman. I see Garrett Robinson involved in that one. And that, I think, is going to be the trigger to single file out these restarts.
Yeah, this has turned into a race of attrition, man. If you can make it through the crashes, you're going to be looking pretty good. And I'm looking at a guy that's done that, Brian Wayant Jr., our VR racer tonight. Randy, he's ran it up from the B main up to 6th right now in the 88 car, just keeping his nose clean.
Maybe we should have just stuck to his VR cam the entire time. So much drama. We're definitely going to be watching this VR camera, I think, coming back to green. They're going to be single filed out this time. But, man, just looking at going down your top 10 right now, the running order compared to where they started, this whole field is jumbled up. Right now, your top 4, all cars started in the top 10, but your 3rd place runners started on the 3rd row, the 4th row. Howard Weaver started on the 5th row. The driver currently running in 5th started on row number 7. The driver currently running 6th started on row 10. The driver starting 7th started on row 6. Driver in 9th started on row 10. So many people with all this drama getting moved their way up this field as the 1 to go signal is going going to come through, and drivers, I think, are a little bit confused about whether or not this is a one or single file or double file restart. It is a single file restart. That is a confirmation from race control, as the 127 Tulis is going to get on it. Not the cleanest restart I've ever seen, but the 127, he's going to have a lead through 1 and 2.
Yeah, let's hope we can stay green here. The 07 of Howard Weaver, the first car to go down to the bottom of the racetrack in 1 and 2. He'll try it again in 3 and 4. We've seen the bottom be good here. That first opening green flag run as Weaver pulls up alongside Alex Bergeron right there. Your top three have single filed up on the top of the racetrack. And here comes the 24, last year's champion, Zach Leon Hardy. He's looking to the outside of Howard Weaver for the 4th spot.
Zach needs a run like this. He's only had one top 5 through the first 5 races as he's sizing up the 07 of Howard Weaver. Those two fought for the championship up to the final race last year, and it was the 24 who ended up on top because of that. But the 07 of Weaver is going to get a little bit of attack from the 24. Howard tried to shut the door. The 24 didn't let him, and our VR cam is right there in this battle. They're 3 wide off of turn 2, and it's the 88 of Brian Wayan Jr. on the bottom. Now it's going to be the 00 up top. That's going to be Kendall Tucker, your points leader. They nearly fan out 4 wide as the 88 on the bottom is going to lose out as they're 3 wide once again.
Oh, a big slider for the 2nd spot. Bergeron across the nose of Blake Cannon. Cannon right back down to the inside. These guys were going at it at Kokomo Speedway a couple weeks ago, and they're doing it again at Kokomo, or excuse me, they were going at it at Limeland a couple weeks ago. They're doing it again here at Kokomo. Unfortunately, though, they're doing it for 2nd as Blake Majulis pulls away.
Butulis will have this race lead of the 12 of Bergeron. Sets up the bottom on the 44 of Blake Cannon, but he's not going to quite be able to get it.
Yeah, now Cannon into the outside wall right there. He maintains the 2nd spot down the back straightaway, tags the wall, entering turn 3 as Blake Majulis is now pulled out to a 1.5 second advantage right now. He's looking to become the 6th different winner in 6 races here with the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Series, and it's looking like it's going to be a pretty good odds of that because he's got a pretty sizable advantage, and he's running great lap times at the front of the field.
Got a caution, though, and this is going to stack the field up once again. I see Chris Beck involved in this incident in the number 39. What happened in this little incident? This is going in towards turn 1. Maybe some technical issues there causing that yellow, but that's going to stack the field back up, and that's a disaster for the 127 Matulis. I think Blake had a little bit of an advantage on that last restart here with the fact that everyone was confused, not knowing if it was going to be a single or double file restart chase. He's not going to have that sort of advantage race up his sleeve this time. So I don't think that 127 is going to get that big breakaway that he got the last time we went back to green.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how these two teammates at the front of the field race each other. You know, the 127, the 44 car, Blake Cannon, both Swindell Speed Lab Esports cars. And, you know, I really want to see if they're going to race hard for this thing. Obviously, Cannon's trying to make his way back into the championship. He's 6th coming into tonight. Majulis was way up there in the top 5. So the pace truck pulls off quickly. A very quick yellow there. 20 laps to go. It's Majulis, Cannon, Bergeron. And it's the 24 Leon Hardy, the 00 of Tucker, back to green.
So we're back to green. They're piling them up in the back already. Big contact to see the 07 of Howard Weaver getting into the 88 of Brian Wayan Jr. is down the back straightaway. The 127 Batulis will maintain this race lead. The 12 of Bergeron pressuring Blake Cannon for 2nd as the 24 Leonardi. He's trying to run for his 2nd top 5 this season, and Kendall Tucker from deep in the field has got his way into 5th. Let's look at the 07 on the bottom. He's going to be nearly 3 wide.
Yeah, Howard Weaver's not giving up on the bottom of the racetrack, and it's working for him right now as he slides in front of the 88 of Wayan Jr. and the 44 of Tyler Schell. Your top 5 is single filed up on the top of the racetrack, and it looks like 2nd and 3rd are closing in a little bit on the 127 of Majulis as Bergeron looks down to the inside of Blake Cannon. Can't get the move there, and Cannon will have that 2nd spot at the start-finish line. But it looks like the middle in 3 and 4, Randy, looks like it's got some speed to it.
Definitely seems like it, but it seems like you want to be up top there through 1 and 2. You're running about the middle right now. Oh, big move there from Kendall Tucker on Zach Leonardi, and he's going to be able to maintain a little bit of an overlap, but he won't keep it in towards 1 and 2. Slider line from Leonardi to try to defend the bottom, and Kendall Tucker is going to be able to take advantage up the inside in towards turn 3. He'll run the slider on the 24 Leonardi, who cuts it back down to the bottom, and he's going to pick the spot back up into 1. Can Leonardi get clear? Yes, he can. Tucker shoved into the wall, and behind Tyler Schell. Contact with the 07, similar incident, and Kendall Tucker is going to send the 24. No question about it as we're back to yellow.
Yeah, that was a tough move right there. The 24 car looked like he might have checked up entering turn number 3 right there, and Tucker just really didn't react quick enough there. That's a tough deal right there for your points leader, man. We've seen these iRacing officials, they don't really give much leisure even if you're in the championship hunt, so hopefully that doesn't really affect Kendall in that way. But and the battle was about to start heating up at the front of the field. Blake Cannon had tracked down the 127 of Majulis, but we're going back yellow with, it looks like, what, 12 laps to go, 38 laps in.
Yeah, it's going to be, we are really deep into this race, coming towards 10 laps to go on this restart. The laps tick down so quickly around these quarter-mile racetracks. We saw it in the sprint cars, and we saw it happen at Lima Land as well, as that 127 Matulis. He's been absolutely perfect out there, Chase, since getting out there in front. The lights back out on the race truck. We're going green this next time by.
Yeah, we'll see if Majulis can hang on to this win here. He's got two guys that have already gotten a victory in this series, and he's got Kendall Tucker, who's looking for his first, and Bryant Wayand Jr. from 19th up to 5th right now in car number 88. To the top of the racetrack, they go in 3 and 4. Green flag is back out. Can Majulis hang on with just 10 laps to go?
It's a pair of Blakes running the top side. In 1 and 2, Matulis finds the wall. That's going to be an advantage to the 44 and the 12. They close a little bit. They both get that little out jut there on the wall. How is that going to potentially damage those race cars? The 12 of Bergeron, the only one that missed it. But the 127 made the mistake, and Blake Cannon followed him. Slider from Bergeron. He can't get clear. We're inside of 10 to go.
Man, if Bergeron would have committed to that one right there, he might have slid in front of the 127. He's got to run down the front straight. Will he try it again down in 1 and 2? Here comes the 12 of Bergeron, a big slide job attempt. He's not going to clear it. He gets in front of Cannon, but not in front of Majulis.
Oh, they touched. He wasn't quite clear of the 44, and they're still rubbing in towards 3 and 4. The 00 Tucker's going to make this 3 wide. Down on the bottom, I don't think this is going to work for Kendall, but the 12 of Bergeron.
Oh, yeah, it will.
Slider line, and Kendall's actually going to get clear. What do I know? And Tucker's going to get up to 3rd.
And Majulis is loving what he's seen in the rearview mirror as he pulls away with just 6 laps to go. Bergeron back down to the inside of Kendall Tucker. They make contact entering turn 1. Tucker's going to hang on to it, but Bergeron falls back to 4th now. And once again, it's a Swindell Speed Lap top 3.
Swindell, and that's a Reignition Esport car fighting 5th behind Alex Bergeron, the 88 car of VR Cam. Don't think we've shown him much this race at all, and he's fighting with the old 4 of Tyler Schell in towards 3 and 4. But the fight for your top 5 has really single-filed itself out. It's really Bryant Wayand Jr. and Tyler Schell. Those are the two really fighting side by side. Top 4, all single file, coming to 4 to go.
Yeah, Brian Wayand Jr. keeping that left front tire down by those tractor tires on the infield, and it's working for him this entire race. He's came from 19th up to that 5th spot. Does not want to give up a top 5 position. He's had a heck of a run. Here comes the battle for the lead, though. Randy, the 44 car, Cannon's closed back in on his teammate. Coming by this time, 2 laps to go. Will Cannon make the move?
Blake Cannon needs the points after what happened to him at last week and not making that feature event because he was racing from a different location. Can he make this work? The 12 of Bergeron in the background slides. Kendall Tucker won't get clear, and he'll hit the abort button. 2 laps to go this time through corners number 1 and 2. The 44 Cannon all over the 127 trying to make a mistake. These guys are teammates. They're probably going to play a little nice with one another, but slide job for the race lead and a slide job for 3rd as well. Neither will stick, and the 127 Matulis will lead here. See the white flag through 1 and 2. The 44 Cannon's lost a bit of ground. The 127 checks off the slider line, and the 127 of Blake Matulis, he will make it 6 winners in 6 races.
What a race there. What a battle towards the end of the race. I wish we had a little bit less cautions there, but a good race between the teammates. They didn't rub each other. They didn't bump each other or anything. They threw some clean sliders and had a good race there towards the end. So Blake Majulis, the 6th winner in 6 races with the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Series. In 2nd, it was Blake Cannon. Kendall Tucker comes home 3rd to complete the Swindell Speed Lab Esports podium finish. Then Alex Bergeron and Brian Wayand Jr. from 19th comes home 5th.
What a run for Brian Wayand Jr. We're going to get a word with him for sure, here later on. But let's go down your final post-race results and look at the team graphic there on the right-hand side. Blake Matulis, Blake Cannon, Kendall Tucker, your top 3, all Swindell Speed Lab Esports. But, of course, the big talking point, Blake Matulis, 6 winners in 6 races, and we might see a different points leader as well when everything shakes out here. Alex Bergeron in the 12 will finish in that 4th spot with Bryant Wayand Jr. in 5th. Stephen Wilson will come home in 6th. Tyler Schell 7th. Zach Leonardi in 8th. Howard Weaver in 9th. And Evan C., who came into this race up near the head of the points, he's going to come home in 10th. Blake Brown in the 11th spot with Garrett Robinson in 12th. Austin Carr in 13th. Casey Kerwin, you have to feel bad for him. Started on the outside of the front row, had some trouble, fell back a couple of spots, and one other driver's mistake. He got caught up in it, nowhere he could go with that one. Adam Elby comes home in 15th, the last car on the lead lap, with Virgil Graham, Nick Cooper, Kevin Dedman, Chris Beck, and Dylan Hauser rounding out the 20-car field here tonight. But that 127 Matulis here, Chase, we've been highlighting him it feels like for several weeks now after he made that big comeback run from the LCQ to get his way up in towards that top 3. I think he finished second that night if I recall correctly. He hasn't been able to pull off a win up until here on round 6, but I think him getting one this year is no surprise the way he's been running.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been in the top 5 in the point standings every single week. He's been, making some highlight reels on Twitter and on Facebook. So not surprised to see the 127 in victory lane here tonight. Man, wouldn't it be something, Randy, if we had 10 different winners in every single race this season? Because, after watching this race and these races in the past, we have enough guys in this field. It's so competitive that we could see something like that happen.
Definitely could, as competitive as it has been, and with the number of drivers we have running as strong as they are. And let's take a talk to your race winner tonight. It's going to be the 127 of Blake Matulis. Blake, it took 6 weeks. You've had a couple of fantastic runs throughout this championship, and you finally get a big win here. You make it 6 winners in 6 races. How does it feel finally pulling that 127 into victory lane?
Woo, baby, let's go. Feels great.
That was so
great.
high pitched. I don't
feels.
think TeamSpeak even picked it up there for a second. A little bit of a woo there, a little bit of Ric Flair coming from Blake Matulis.
That's right. It feels great. Seeing my teammates right behind me here race for the win, it feels amazing.
Were you a little worried there? I mean, obviously it's your teammate behind you. Blake has to have a good run after having a bad week last week. Were you worried that, you guys were going to get racing there and maybe, ruin both of your nights, or were you pretty confident that you guys were going to race pretty clean?
Oh, hell, I was nervous. I was real nervous because, I know Cannon's my teammate, but he always goes for the win. I knew he was going to pull something, and I was just happy to clear him back under 4. So I was definitely nervous there, but I knew they'd race me clean and wouldn't put any stupid moves on me, so that definitely helped.
And you guys in this championship, everyone involved with this championship hunt, what's the mindset right now for you guys going into these last 4 races? You have Knoxville, Williams Grove, Limaland, and Charlotte. Williams Grove, of course, is going to be a wild card. Limaland, another quarter-mile bull ring. We saw Limaland be super exciting earlier in the season. It's going to be exciting once again. Knoxville, we know, will have good racing. And Charlotte, of course, the one time it gets run is at the end of the year, and that can always be a little bit of a wild card as well. With so many of you guys being competitive, what do you think it's going to take to win here? Who do you think, besides yourself, is likely to maybe start stretching clear of the competition here through these last handful of rounds?
You got to approach it like any other race. You just got to go out there and think you're going to, you got to go out there with a top 5 mindset. That's what it takes. You can't just go out there. You're not going to win every race. These guys are too good. You finish top 5, you're going to win the championship. That's what it's going to take in these next 4 races here. Just got to be consistent, smooth, good qualifying runs. Just smooth, and you got to watch out for yourself. Can't be putting any stupid moves. Just top 5.
Thanks for joining us here, Blake, and congratulations on another strong run, not only for yourself, but everyone at Swindell Speed Labs Esports. And before we let you go, who gets it done for you and that entire organization that supports that 127 car?
Big thanks to Kendall Tucker. We tested we tested throughout the week, and we really hit on something. He came from the back, and Cannon was on it, and he was right out there. We were all right there, 1, 2, 3. So I can't thank Speed Lab enough, all them guys for all the help they put in with setup work and all the hard work we put in together to this, and it really shows, obviously, finishing 1, 2, 3. So Swindell Speed Lab, of course. iRacing, iFlag, Jeff Brown, couldn't do it without him. He's a big help in this deal too. Bell Helmets, Wiser Organics, Design 75, Jeremy Ray, you guys for broadcasting, iRacing, World of Outlaws, my girlfriend Blake Neer for spotting. Got to thank all those guys for watching. My dad, everyone that watches, can't thank them enough.
There he was, everyone. Your race winner tonight finally gets one in that 127 car. He's fought up near the front of the field all season and is finally able to close one out. Blake Matulis, the big one. What do you got, Chase?
And I'm just so pumped, man. I love it when these guys come in here. We saw it with Chase Cabray and the sprint cars. When they win these races, man, it's not in real life, man. They're pumped. Nope. Blake Matulis comes in here, about blows the speakers out of my headset, and I love it.
Yeah, same here. I'm sure Hugo didn't like the audio levels changing so frequently, but that's okay. He's the producer nerd.
I've had some pretty big wins in real life and on here, and this it just feels great.
Well, you enjoy that feeling, my friend, and you get ready to hopefully maybe keep that feeling going in towards the next round we have heading towards Knoxville.
Thanks, brother. Thank you, guys.
There he was, Blake Matulis, the big winner tonight, and his teammate coming home in second is going to be the 44 of Blake Cannon. Blake, it was heartbreak for you last week. I know you were out of town. You were running from a different location than you typically do. Didn't qualify well. Didn't even make the feature. That robbed you of a ton of points. But you come out and you pretty much immediately rebound, put that car quick time, if memory serves me right, start up near the head of the field and end up to pull out at least a strong second place finish. How do you think you can? Do you think you're gonna be able to rebound from missing the feature last week through these last handful of races and fight for this championship?
It's definitely a steep hill to climb for sure, without a doubt. But this week was a really good rebound. I was really upset last week, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I moved on, got the pole, won the heat, and I should have won the race. Just you get put in a box on these restarts at this track here, and I got beat on the restart. But nonetheless, that was a heck of a race in my opinion. I mean, if you don't like that, then you probably shouldn't tune in next week, because there was a few times where a couple guys made contact, but I mean that's what dirt racing is about. I mean, look at Fairbury a couple nights ago. So that's what it's all about. It's a good race, good hard race, and I'm just glad that I came second and my teammate was first and third.
Were you really hoping for a green flag run there? I mean, obviously that real big bad string of cautions there at the beginning of the race kind of set us back and set the pace back a little bit. Were you hoping for a long green flag run tonight? I think we would have had an even better race if we wouldn't have gone yellow.
Absolutely. I mean, the first 10 laps I pulled away by half a straightaway, so I had a really good piece. I knew I had a good piece. The longer we ran, the better I got. I mean, every time I got a green flag run, I'd get away from Bergeron and chase down Blake. It wasn't meant to be. I throw it in there with coming to get the white flag, and just like the racetrack, with it being the way it is, you just get into a death slide until you gain moisture. So, I hate that me and Bergeron kind of touched doors there early on after he parked it on me. But I mean, this racetrack is what breeds that. So, I mean, it is what it is. I had something for Blake, and I knew I did. It's just he was out front and was able to hold on through the cautions.
Fairbury American Legion Speedway, the next racetrack coming to the sim at the next build release. Everyone at Swindell Speed Labs Esports excited to have another quarter-mile bull ring on the surface?
I think we are, but I think that the main goal right now is just to finish this pro deal off, and we got some really stout drivers, as you've seen tonight. Kendall rebounded really good. Unfortunately, I don't want him to be running that good. It feels like I had a really good points night, but then again, everybody that I got to beat is right there around me, so that's what makes this deal tough. But I'm happy for him and happy for Blake.
Well, congratulations to you, other Blake, on a strong second place finish. I'm going to tell you, it gets confusing following you and Matulis both being teammates and both always being at the head of the field and always being at the head of the points as well. But it's good to see such strong runners from that same organization there. Before we let you go, who gets it done for everyone involved with the 44?
Just everybody on Swindell Speed Lab. They put in a ton of work day in and day out. Even if we're not racing supers on dirt, we're just having a really good time. It's like a family over there, so I got to thank them. They do a heck of a job, and I'm really proud to be a part of the team. Kevin brought me along and has done a lot for me and a lot for the rest of the team, so I got to thank him. Got to thank Bell Helmets, Weiser CBD, Augusta Aquatics, Design 75. I don't mention him a lot, but Jeremy Ray does a heck of a job on all my paints, so I got to thank him. D. Hyman, he come aboard a couple weeks ago, and I haven't really got to talk about him a lot, but I thank him for coming on board. Just thank iRacing. They do a heck of a job. And as well as the broadcast guys, I always enjoy talking to Randy and Rodman.
Well, we enjoy the fact that you enjoy talking to us. So, Blake, congratulations on another strong victory here, and good luck to you heading out to Knoxville.
Thank you. I'm going to try to regain this points lead at some point.
So we get one more Swindell Speed Lab car to talk to here at the post race, and it's the 00 of Kendall Tucker. Finishes third tonight. Kendall, you're the first driver to come into one of these races with the points lead and leave still with the points lead following tonight. We got the official call there, but you lead the points at the moment still without a race win. You think you're going to be able to make it 7 for 7 going into the next round at Knoxville?
First off, I just want to start out by apologizing to Zach Leonardi right there. I hate that happened. We kind of got into it right there in 1 and 2. He slid me, and he wasn't quite clear, but we went down into 3 right there, and I just don't think people realize how much you just slow down right there going into 3. I think he was trying to run that diamond line right there, and I wasn't really expecting it. I was really just charging in the corner hard, so I hate that right there. It wasn't nothing intentional at all, but we really got behind in qualifying right there, and got some bad luck right there at the start of the heat race. We really just had to get up on the wheel and manhandle what we could. I think we fell back to about 6th in the heat and come up to 3rd right there at the line. So and to charge up to the field right there like we did and come home with a 3rd right here, I'm pretty relieved with that.
Now we head to a half-mile track next week with Knoxville and then another one with Williams Grove. What do you think you guys are better at? Not only you, but your organization as well. Do you guys think you run better? It seems like you guys run better on these quarter-milers, but what do you think you got for Knoxville?
Yeah, I really think we can bring a good piece to Knoxville next week. So Willis, he ran good at Knoxville and so did Cannon, and I was able to sneak a top 5 right there. So really, I think I'm just going to try and focus on qualifying speed this week. So just hopefully we can put in a good qualifying effort next week. And I know all the guys at Speed Lab, we're going to put in a lot of time right here. So a top 3 podium sweeper here for Speed Lab. This is a pretty cool deal and pretty special for all the guys and for Kevin to be a part of this too. It's a pretty cool deal.
And how difficult is it for you going into these, kind of closing races, closing out this championship? It's easy to fight, for you guys to fight against a Bergeron or an Evan C. or throw some moves on Kevin Dedman. But for you guys, you're all fighting as teammates for this championship. How much more stressful does that make it, knowing that if that's a car, if you're seeing the 12 out in front of you might give an offender, but knowing there's a 44 out there, you may not. How does that change your sort of mentality running with guys trying to maximize points?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and in a sense, it's not running with your teammates up front like that. That just makes it hard. But really, we're all just going to race hard at the end of the day, and we just race everybody like we would each other. So we all kept it pretty clean for the most part. I was really worried about this track here tonight. It's super tough. So just a handful to drive, and once we got them cautions set it out pretty early right there, we was able to get rolling and cleaned up pretty good.
Congrats to you on another strong run here tonight, Kendall, and keeping the championship points lead. The first driver this season to come into a race with the points lead and still have the points lead leaving it. So that's going to be a nice little ace up your sleeve going to Knoxville next week. And good luck to you there. Before we let you go, who gets it done for everyone involved with the double zero?
Yeah, just got to thank all the guys at Speed Lab. They do a great job week in and week out. And just got to thank sponsors and partners, CBD Weiser Organics, Bell Helmets, Jeff Brown with iRacing, iFlag, and Jim Aaron with Superman Graphics for keeping this thing looking good. And hopefully we'll be back here next week and hopefully talking to you guys again. So we'll go to work next week and keep plugging away at this.
There he was, everyone. Kendall Tucker, your final podium finisher tonight. The next driver we're going to have a chat with is the 12 of Alex Bergeron. Alex, hectic race for you and another good result for you coming in fourth. Talk me through your race. You were involved with some of the most fun fights we had to watch out there on the racetrack.
Yeah, it was fun for sure. We didn't want a fourth place tonight, but we're just keeping up with Kendall in the championship. That's a good thing for a championship. We got 4 races to go, and hopefully we can get some more points next week. And but for foremost, Kokomo was awesome for sure. We seen the bottom come in, and we've seen some slide jobs there and there, and a lot of caution though tonight. But I think that's part of it.
You're in an interesting position right now. You won, obviously, the Sprint Car Championship. You led most of that championship throughout the season, but now you're kind of in a different position where you're chasing somebody in the championship. Which one's easier? Is it easier trying to hold them off, or is it easier trying to catch them in these points?
I'd say it's easier to hold them off. Really, when you get an advantage with a championship with no drops, it's always good. But right now I think we're 13 points behind Tucker here, so we just gotta keep on getting top 5s, and the rest of the season. I'm sure we can have a good shot at this championship. But yeah, it's tough to get top 5s there, and we had a rough round at Eldora. That didn't help out at all. Finished dead last. So maybe if that wouldn't have happened, we'd be sitting in a better position. But that's part of racing, and can't always win. So we're just trying to do our best, and I can't thank my team ABR enough for all this. So Jason Nygaard, we worked all week long to get this thing fast, and running up front is always a pleasure. It's always a good gift, I'd say. We just work and get good results. I gotta thank my girlfriend as well for all the social medias and everything, and for the support. I gotta thank my dad for watching, and everyone tonight, all the fans out there.
Well, Alex, you've already gone down through all the shout-outs, so we'll wipe that question off here. But last 4 races, Knoxville, Williams Grove, Limeland, and Charlotte. Kind of a heck quartet of tracks. None of the tracks really like each other except maybe Knoxville and Charlotte, semi-similar. What's your feeling going to these last 4 rounds? Do you feel strong there, or what's your feeling?
Well, I definitely feel strong for Knoxville. We won there this year, and that's our only win of the season so far. So we feel confident for there. Definitely confident for Williams Grove. But the rest of the races, we'll try to get good results, and I think we're gonna be good. I mean, we just gotta get top 5s, like I said.
It was, everybody, your 4th place finisher tonight, Alex Bergeron, still fighting, currently 2nd in the points, trying to track down Kendall Tucker with just 4 races left in this championship. And the last person we're going to talk here tonight, he was our featured driver with the virtual reality headset. We got some great shots riding on board with Brian Wayant Jr. in that Reignition Esports Super Late Model. Brian, it was a ton of fun watching you in the VR cam. Was it just as equally fun racing, or even more so?
Well, I'll say it was very tough, to put it that way. Very fun, very exhausting. I kind of just wanted to lay low at the beginning of the race and just watch it unfold, but it kind of like lucked out in my way in a lot of aspects. There was 2 huge wrecks that happened right in front of me, and somehow I avoided them. And as the race kept progressing, I mean, I just kept looking at the standings and just kept going forward and forward and forward. And finally, I got myself close to the top 5 and realized I actually have a shot at finishing in it. And I just tried to stay on the bottom. That's the only place that really seemed to work for me. And I really had to pedal the car. I mean, it was really tough just trying to keep the car straight without spinning the tires. And just looking in my mirror, I had some old teammates behind me, and I did get a little bit nervous, but I mean, all in all, it was a great race, really fun.
Now, we've talked to you, well, we haven't talked to you much, but we've seen you run up front on multiple occasions, coming from the back and stuff. Do you think you have a car that is able to contend with the Swindell Speed Lab guys, Bergeron and Evan C. and all these guys? Do you think that we might see you become one of these different winners in these next 4 weeks?
It's actually kind of tough. Those guys are really, really good. I mean, I've raced with them for a while now, and it's really, really tough to beat those select few guys. So I don't really want to count myself out, but I don't really see myself winning it either. But I mean, for the benefit of the doubt, I think I can still run a consistent, like close to a top 5 every week. It's just I've struggled every week so far. I've got caught up in so many messes, and I mean, I'm just happy to have a clean car this race.
Well, thanks for joining us, Brian, and congratulations on a strong finish here in the 6th round at Kokomo. Before we let you go, who gets it done for everyone involved with that number 88?
I got to thank Existence, Sant Racing Fabrications, J. Lusk Racing, Highside Graphics, Julian Shine Cinematography, Bobby Rafferty for the awesome spotting that he does. And I gotta, if you could read it on my my webcam, I have a get well soon Bobby Sant. He recently went in he's going to be having some back surgery here, and just wish him the best.
Well, there he was, everyone. Brian Wayant Jr. wishing one of his friends well, Bobby Sant Jr. We've actually seen him several times here on the iRacing Esports Network. Saw him in, if memory serves, we saw him in the
sprint cars.
In the sprint cars. We've also seen him in Rallycross as well. Definitely a talent on iRacing. So thanks for joining us, Brian, and good luck to you in the next handful of rounds.
Thank you.
Well, everyone, that is going to do it for us here tonight on the iRacing Esports Network. Huge thanks to all of our sponsors, Morton Buildings, the World of Outlaws, and Dirt Vision for making this possible. Quick peek at the current point situation that we have in Kendall Tucker, 13 points out the head of the field, heading into the final 4 rounds of the championship. 6 winners in 6 races, and Kendall Tucker, your points leader, has yet to win one. Can he maybe make it 7 for 7, or can any of those other drivers who have yet to win a race maybe do so? But thank you all for making us a part of your Monday nights, and we hope to see you all next time.